Hello and welcome to the first ever Scribbles update. So this is a little bit different to what I usually do. You usually see me playing gameplays and stuff like that of games. But this is something which I've been thinking of doing for a little while, and I think I'm just going to do like a really short form version of it. And that's just to talk about the news that comes up in the week. Mainly about gaming or maybe like pop culture things, just to like kind of say what they are and say like what I think about them. That's kind of the idea of it. So yeah, and let me know in the comments if you like this kind of thing or if you don't and you get back to gaming sort of thing. But yeah, so we're going to kick off and we're just going to have a look at four news things that have popped up in the week. And we're going to start with number one. Rooster Teeth is back from the dead. So Rooster Teeth, very popular YouTube channel, which has also had branches of different channels, including one of my favourite ones, which was Funhouse. It went out of business by Warner Brothers last year, and then midweek, I think it was Wednesday, so it was like the 5th, I think it was. There was a video posted on the Rooster Teeth YouTube channel. And it was of one of the co-owners, or founders, Bernie Burns, walking into their old like warehouse and being like, "Where is everyone? What's happened?" Very funny. It gave me a chuckle. But from the news, it looks like his company, the company he owns, called Box Canyon Productions, has brought Rooster Teeth assets so that he can bring it back, but I don't think he's brought all of them, so there will be certain things which won't be coming back. And also I imagine there was obviously things that didn't work with Rooster Teeth, like it went down. Warner Brothers probably didn't help with that, with being quite a big company and all that. It's like, corporation, they're like probably didn't get kind of the vibe that the smaller YouTube sort of thing happened. There was a lot of controversies as well throughout like the different Rooster Teeth companies from certain people, so I think that probably didn't help it along the way. But I don't know if we're going to expect some of the same stuff that was before or if it's just going to be completely fresh. There was a quote that they're going to focus on innovation, community engagement, and the spirit of creativity, which is a bit generic and you don't really know what that means yet. So just kind of keep an eye on Rooster Teeth, I guess. I'm a little bit concerned that Rooster Teeth is going to come back and fall flat because everyone kind of made their peace with them going. There was obviously a lot of people who still miss them, and I still go back and watch old videos every now and then just for a little bit of a laugh. But I wonder if the environment has changed enough that are they going to know what to make? I think probably Bernie is a pretty clever guy when it comes to. He made Rooster Teeth. He's obviously got a successful productions company. If he's able to acquire Rooster Teeth again, I wonder what that is going to look like. You might have diehard fans not being that happy because it's not the same thing, but we will see. So yeah, an interesting thing that's going to happen in the next, like, I don't know how long, but we'll probably start seeing Rooster Teeth videos popping up, news about people either coming back or new people being brought in. So yeah, a really kind of a positive piece of news at least, and it will be quite an interesting 2025 for that sort of community. The Rooster Teeth community, I know, is still quite active and stuff on like Reddit and things like that, so it'll be interesting to see how they take hold of the new version of it as well. Next news item is Football Manager. Now, it's a very Marmite game. You either love it or you hate it, but I am one who gobbles down Football Manager like an absolute maniac. I love Football Manager. This week, they've made an announcement. They were supposed to make an announcement about Football Manager 25 by the end of January, and they pushed it. Well, they didn't even announce anything. They just radio silence, and then they eventually released a kind of announcement today. Was it today? When was it? It was either the 6th or 7th. And it's not good news. It is that they have cancelled Football Manager 25. So originally they pushed it back from the original date to sometime in November. Then they pushed it back again to March this year. And now they've just completely scrapped it and said we're focusing on the next one. Now, question is, will they keep the name Football Manager 25 for the next one? Or will they just skip an iteration and go Football Manager 26? We don't know. I probably would prefer the 25. And then you just operate or change the naming structure so that you operate on Football Manager being named after the year it's starting in rather than the year it's going into, if that makes sense. But they probably will, I imagine, go for Football Manager 26 because that's the naming convention they've always had. So November, October time, we're probably looking for that, but they're still having troubles. The main troubles, from what we can tell, are the match engine, getting that ready and looking good, and the UI to they're tweaking that as well. So the match engine, they're moving for the first time over to Unity, and that's quite a big change, so I can understand. But we're just going to quickly read through the statement and then have a quick think about what that actually means. So the statement they posted on their Twitter was this: Sports Interactive regret to inform that following extensive internal discussion and careful consideration with Sega, we have made the difficult decision to cancel Football Manager 25 and shift our focus to the next release. For a large number of you who pre-ordered FM25, we thank you enormously for your trust and support, and we're very sorry to have let you down. We know this will come as a huge disappointment, especially given that the release date has already been moved twice, and you have been eagerly anticipating first gameplay reveal. We can only apologise for the time it has taken to communicate this decision. Due to stakeholder compliance, including legal and financial regulations, today was the earliest date that we could issue this statement. We've always prided ourselves on delivering the best value for money games that bring you countless hours of enjoyment, that feel worth every moment and every penny you spend. With the launch of FM25, we set out to create the biggest technical and visual advancement in the series for a generation, laying the building blocks for a new era. Due to the variety of challenges that we've been open about to date, and many more unforeseen, we currently haven't achieved what we set out to do in enough areas of the game, despite the phenomenal efforts of our team. Each decision to delay the release was made with the aim of getting the game closer to the desired level, but as we approach critical milestones at the turn of the year, it became unmistakably clear that we would not achieve the standard required, even with the adjusted timeline. Whilst many areas of the game have hit our targets, the overarching player experience and interface is not where we need it to be. As extensive evaluation has demonstrated, including consumer playtesting, we have clear validation for the new direction of the game and are getting close. However, we are too far away from the standards you deserve. We could have pressed on, released FM25 in its current state and fixed things down the line, but that's not the right thing to do. We were also unwilling to go beyond March release, as it would be too late in the football season to expect players to then buy another game later this year. Through the cancellation, every effort is now focused on ensuring that our next release achieves the goal and hits quality levels we all expect. We will update you on how we are progressing with that as soon as we are able to do so. Thank you for reading, your patience and your continued support. Our full focus now returns to creating the new era for Football Manager. So that's basically saying we are so sorry, but it's not coming. Interesting to say that they couldn't have posted this announcement any earlier because of stakeholders and financial and legal regulations. That means that they were pretty much, Sega had their hands tied, saying, I imagine there was a stakeholders or a shareholders meeting and they had to know first. Otherwise, there would have been some problems in the like kind of legal sector with that sort of stuff. So that makes sense. Like, I understand. They probably were silly to set a deadline for themselves in, I think it was November when they posted their announcement for January. If they weren't sure if they were going to be able to reach it, they probably should have said soon rather than in January. But I know that they had already given bad news, and they were probably trying to lessen the blow with, don't worry, there's going to be some really cool stuff coming out soon. But there wasn't. So unfortunately, that's how it went. I personally have a lot of love for Sports Interactive and Football Manager, so them cancelling this game is disappointing. I'd love to play the next level, next Football Manager, and the next like better looking Football Manager. But I want it to be ready. So I completely understand why they cancelled it, and I think that it's one of those things where we just have to be a little bit patient, unfortunately. There's going to be people out there who are absolutely angry and fuming about it. I'm not one of them. I've put like 600 plus hours in each Football Manager for years. It's one of those games which, whenever it comes out, I pick it up and have fun. So Football Manager has provided me that much fun for a very low price every year. Like, it's never a £70 game. It's always around the £30-35 that I pay for it, maybe even less. And you don't get that with other games. You don't get that kind of, if you look at other yearly repeats like FIFA or Madden and that, you're getting milked for 120 quid for a game that has barely any changes and doesn't have a lot of support behind it. They're just straight onto the money making side of it. They're always trying to get foot cards and stuff on you and stuff like that. So I think we need to appreciate a company that does a lot of good for its consumers. And this is just them trying to make a massive change, and it's going to be a one-time short-term pain for long-term gain. Like, we're going to not feel great about it right now because we don't have a new Football Manager to play, but in a couple of years' time, we're going to have a new Football Manager that's got all the bugs, like wrinkles and that, ironed out. It's going to be a great game to play, and we're going to be back. We're going to be back into a regular annual game sort of thing. So I think that it's probably not the worst thing to have happened. And a lot of people argue that you don't need one every year. So here's the argument. Like, let's see if that works. Hey, let's see if they're right. I will say, which is a bit disappointing, but again, I completely understand. They said in another post they will not be doing an data update for FM24. That's all down to legal stuff as well, with licenses also having to put a load of work into updating the data would take a lot of time and effort away from the people who are working on the next Football Manager. So it makes sense to drop that and not even try, and to make the next Football Manager the best one that they can. So no new Football Manager stuff for the next 8 months. So we will have to just play FM24 if we want to play, or any of the older ones that you have access to. But yeah, I think that people should probably not go too hard on Sports Interactive, in my opinion, because they are definitely trying, and their communication could be better. I would say they fumbled it with the communication, but overall, we love the game. That's why we're getting upset. So remember that. Remember the love for the game rather than the hate for the for the devs who are making the thing that you love. Come on. So that's the second thing that I wanted to put out. And the third thing is Helldivers 2 has had a new update. And the new update is the usual kind of bug fixes, patches and stuff. But then also a couple of new features have been added. But the biggest one, which they didn't really talk about when they put it in there, was no like announcement or anything, but there's a shovel. So you can get a shovel now. I haven't tried it yet. I need to log on with some of my mates and have a little play around with it. But the shovel has been added, and the shovel has been something in games for years. You know, like the soldier from Team Fortress 2 had the shovel, and you'd smack people over the head with it. And Battlefield, you'd have I can't remember which one. It's the World War One Battlefield 1, I think it was, had the shovel where you'd be in the trenches and you'd be able to knock people around the head with a shovel and stuff. A lot of knocking around the head. But this shovel is being talked about because people have realised that you can use the shovel on the ground and dig trenches or dig holes or whatever you want to do. You can dig up the ground, which obviously leaves a lot of gameplay options. Like you can make your own fortification. You can, like, you're getting attacked by something, you can dig your own fortifications in and hide away while you're throwing out stratagems and stuff. So it's a really interesting idea that they've thrown in, but no real announcement of it, which makes me think either they've just put it in as like people will find out about it themselves. It'll be kind of fun to watch them all scramble and be like, look at this. Or in later updates, they're going to actually have some proper use for it. And then they're going to do a proper announcement then. But this is kind of them just testing the waters with the shovel. People who find it will play around with it, and that will test it out for them. So, an interesting update. Helldivers 2 just showing that they're always working on improving the game. It's been, I think, just about a year since it came out, and it's been one of those surprise hits, which has been incredible. I really love the game. It's not one which I play constantly, but it's one that I always go back to, and me and my mates will always play a bit. So yeah, it's definitely interesting where they're going with that, making it a bit more like you can adjust the environment to your liking. It makes it very interesting. I wonder what the next steps will be. Maybe, I mean, could that be a growing to base building or something like that? So you could place down a base and then there's like a different game mode. That would be really cool. But is that going really too far on what they've got? We will see. And then the last thing is a really short one, but I saw it and thought that I really like the kind of sentiment, because it's from someone who didn't need to say what he said. So there was an interview recently, I think it was an interview with someone like a Wall Street Journal or something like that, but Harrison Ford did an interview, and he praised Troy Baker's Indiana Jones performance again. But the way he said it is, he said, and this is a quote, "You don't need artificial intelligence to steal my soul. You can already do it for nickels and dimes with good ideas and talent. He did a brilliant job, and it doesn't take AI to do it." So, like, he's obviously hitting out against AI. He doesn't like, old Harrison Ford doesn't like AI, but he's also saying how well, and giving his, like, praise to Troy Baker, who is, like, arguably probably one of the best video game mocap voice actors out there at the moment, doing the good work. And he's kind of saying, you know, pay for the talent and you get a good job. You don't have to do some AI slop. So 2 in 1, he's very efficient with his interview answers, isn't he? But he's been around long enough to know how to do a good answer, isn't he? And he just doesn't care anymore, does he? He's saying it like it is. So just really like that. It was a nice little kind of positive thing to end on. Like, the Indiana Jones game has been a really fun and really well received property. And I think that it's nice that the OG Indiana Jones likes it as well, because it kind of gives it an extra bit of, like, it sells it a bit more to the fans, doesn't it? So that's it for my Scribbles update for this week. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground and see what else comes up for next week. But hopefully you've enjoyed. Let me know what you think. And yeah, come back next time to find out some more gaming and pop culture news. And I'll see you when I see you.